And even mining corporations with their own maps all seem to disagree on the exact extent of the Bennett Lake Volcanic Complex's massive caldera. But for the sake of today's video, I will be using this specific outline. I picked this outline since it seems to match what appear to be where ring dike intrusive and extrusive igneous rocks exist, marking the likely outer extent of its original vast caldera. Approximately 51 million years ago, the coastal Pacific Northwest had a familiar appearance but likely contained a network of even taller peaks than seen today. Offshore of Yukon, a major tectonic plate collision was ongoing as the Kula Plate subducted underneath the North American Plate. The subducted crust then partially melted and migrated upwards, forming a chain of high silica volcanic centers. One such large intrusion of molten rock created an unusually voluminous shallow magma chamber beneath the future site of the Bennett Lake complex. Eventually, this magma chamber sent small batches of molten rock upwards, creating a series of lava domes in a semicircular shape. This shape was the caldera formation, symptom of an unusually large underlying magma chamber, and a warning sign of events to come. As volatiles in the underlying magma chamber increased, it eventually reached a point where it culminated in a massive ultraplinian eruption that likely was equivalent in energy to 82 simultaneous 1980 eruptions of Mount St. Helens. As a result, pyroclastic flows and absurdly thick ashfall devastated a wide swath of surrounding landscape, perhaps removing all vegetation within an up to 50-kilometer radius. Then, due to the large amount of erupted material, a 24-kilometer wide section of ground collapsed downwards, forming a massive caldera. Two more brief periods of quiet followed, perhaps each lasting weeks to centuries, and then two even more powerful VEI-7 eruptions occurred, further deepening the recently formed caldera. By the end of this sequence, the ground had been coated in some spots by more than 600 meters thick of ash and ignimbrite. This was immediately followed by emplacement of multiple dacite and then andesite lava domes, some of which were fairly sizable, measuring multiple kilometers wide. Then, all quiet period forms of eruptive activity took a lengthy pause. Over the following several 100,000 years, rivers formed, carving out distinctive valleys, which became filled with sandy sediment and animal life. Despite the lack of volcanic activity, the magma chamber was slowly refilling, causing the ground overlying it to be uplifted and forming a resurgent dome. Eventually, volatiles sufficiently built up in the underlying magma chamber that a second major eruption occurred. This eruption once again coated the ground in a several 100-meter thick layer of ash and was the largest ever produced from the Bennett Lake complex, likely sending pyroclastic flows as far as 120 kilometers distant. Before a short volcanic winter began, its caldera further deepened. After this last major eruption, the ground was uplifted due to a growing resurgent dome, but eventually this too ceased around 50 million years ago. Thanks for watching. As a final note, I would like to thank this channel's patrons on Patreon and channel members on